Hi, this is Mike from thesubstream.com, and this is Watch This Instead for the week ending the 7th of January 2011, where every week we talk about what's coming out, what not to watch, and what to watch instead. So you got a couple choices this week. You got the romantic country music movie that's out. You got the romantic but also really kind of disturbing troubled marriage movie that's coming out. And then you have the movie about demons and witches set in old-timey England, where Nicolas Cage plays a knight on the way home from the Crusades, and it's directed by Dominic Sena, the guy that made Gone in 60 Seconds, Swordfish, and Whiteout. What are you gonna pick? You know, if you're like my sister, you'll see Country Strong. If you're like my wife, you'll see Blue Valentine. If you're like the guy in sweatpants and Nike flip-flops in the middle of winter that loved Season of the Witch that sat behind us, you'll probably see Season of the Witch. You'll also probably have some form of mental retardation if you enjoy it as much as he did, because it's not very good. Nicolas Cage, I mean, I love the guy more than anybody probably. I'm a huge fan. I think he can make a crappy movie hilariously really good. He can also make a crappy movie bizarrely bad, and he just kind of ping pong balls back and forth between amazingly amazing and amazingly bad. And he's actually not the reason the Season of the Witch is as terrible as it is. He's a symptom of it in that he's in a film that nobody seems to really want to be in, that can't decide what it actually is. It's a thriller with no thrilling parts that turns into a crazy action movie at some point where you can't actually tell what's happening in any of the action set pieces. It's not very good. So what should you watch instead? There's a movie that came out this year, directed by a woman named Deborah Granick, called Winter's Bone, that shares the same kind of... I mean, I was watching Season of the Witch, and Winter's Bone is set in modern day. It stars an actress as a 17 or 18-year-old girl who's trying to save her family from being taken by some people that have the right to repossess it, because her father, who's a methamphetamine cooker, put it up as security, and she's trying to track him down through the criminal underground in the Ozarks and rural poverty. And they're not really anything alike in terms of plot. However, they are a lot alike in terms of the visual tone and the kind of grittiness that they achieved in Winter's Bone and used to great effect, but that also they achieved in Dominic Sena and used to horrible effect, because in that film it's just grating and dark and depressing and dreary. Whereas in Winter's Bone, it's actually really powerful and moving. So anyways, it came out earlier this year, Deborah Granick. Yeah, the visual palette really reminded me of it when I was watching Season of the Witch, and I spent the whole time wishing I was watching Winter's Bone again instead. It's going to get a bunch of Oscar nominations. It didn't get a bunch of press when it came out, but it's available on DVD and on stuff like Apple TV right now, so go watch it. And then when people are like, oh my God, how did you know that it was going to get nominated for the Oscar for this Winter's Bone movie that hardly anybody's ever heard of? You can be like, yeah, the guys at the substream let me know. They let me know not to watch that witch movie and to watch Winter's Bone instead. Holler at us if you watch it and you like it on our Twitter, which is www.twitter.com/thesubstream.